Because of this online, judges have stopped talking much in the courtroom out of fear that it will be immediately reported and discussed. That was also taken advantage of by unscrupulous persons. आप पैसे दे तो दे देंगे, आप जाइए आप कोर्ट में. Digital technology not only improves the efficiency, it does away with corruption to a great extent. Topic of discussion is access to justice in the digital age. वैसे भी मैं देख रहा हूँ कि ऑडियंस कौन, मैंने प्रदीप राय से पूछे कि व्हाट इज़ द कॉम्पोजिशन ऑफ द ऑडियंस. बताया कि बहुत सारे डिसिप्लिन्स है, डिफरेंट वॉक्स ऑफ लाइफ. यंग लॉयर्स भी हैं, यंग स्टूडेंट्स भी हैं, लॉ स्टूडेंट्स भी हैं, और बाकी हु डू नॉट बिलोंग टू द लीगल फ्रेटर्निटी. तो इवन दो आई हैड प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर लीगलिस्टिक, मैंने सोचा कि अभी लीगलिस्टिक टर्म बात करने से मोस्ट ऑफ द भाषण जो है ऊपर चला जाएगा, which will be of no use. So I will try to talk as a common man, how a common man perceives the whole concept of access to justice in digital age. As this subject itself indicates access to justice in digital age, तो access to justice जैसे access to education, तो एक्सेस टू एजुकेशन के लिए क्या चाहिए? देन ऑब्वियसली यू वुड हैव अ गुड स्कूल, यू वुड हैव गुड टीचर्स, यू वुड हैव गुड इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर्स, एंड यू वुड बी एबल टू अफोर्ड इट. So these are parameters of what is access to just education. Similarly, any other discipline or walks of life. So how to make it reachable for a common man? So with that perspective, I will be speaking on what is access to justice. Therefore, I must clarify also that when I am saying justice, I am not talking of any that vague, very amorphous principle called justice. आप लॉ स्टूडेंट्स है, क्वेश्चन आता है व्हाट इज जस्टिस, डिफाइन जस्टिस, डिफरेंट डेफिनेशंस है, डिफरेंट पर्सपेक्टिव्स है. आई एम नॉट इनटू दैट. आई विल सी एक्सेस टू जस्टिस फ्रॉम ए मोर perceptible, understandable form. This is what you mean by access delivery of this delivery. This हमारे जो justice delivery system, which includes courts and various other institutions. Because when I say justice, access to justice means आपका कुछ प्रॉब्लम होगा तभी तो you will think of this access to justice. Obviously, if you are a satisfied person, you are satisfied with everything, or suppose you have, आपने संसार त्याग कर ले, मंक है, you don't have any problem. You go to Himalayas and meditate. Doesn't matter क्या हो रहा है. So I'm not talking of those exceptional group of people, but a normal human being, a citizen, normal citizen, what he has. आप देखते हैं any time, whenever a citizen has a problem, मान लीजिए he has a problem of health. He may have a mild headache. It's a problem. Nevertheless, the problem. He may say, okay, let me sit down and relax. हो सकता है by that the problem gets over. If it is not, then he'll say, okay, क्रोसिन दे दो भाई, वो दे दो. Then you'll see, खा लिया from your own experience and बाकी क्रोसिन खा लिया, ठीक हो गया. Then there may be a persistent headache also. सुबह भी होता है, शाम को भी होता है. How do you do it? डॉक्टर से पूछना पड़ेगा. या हो, then you can take from your parents, your elders, who are, कुछ हो रहा है, some problem. They will say, ऐसे कोई माने तुम बहुत चिंता करते हो, बहुत सिनेमा देखते हो. You keep watching all the time, mobile phone and TV, stop that. Then he realizes, yes. So because of that advice, he stopped watching TV very often, मोबाइल फ़ोन वेरी ऑफन. हो सकता है ठीक हो जाता है. मे बी इज़ नॉट वर्किंग. देन ही सेड नहीं, आप तुम्हारा कुछ प्रॉब्लम है, यू गो टू योर डॉक्टर. जाइए डॉक्टर. देन डॉक्टर विल सी, डायग्नाइज यू, एंड व्हाट इज द नेचर ऑफ द एलिमेंट बिकॉज ऑफ विच यू आर हैविंग हेडेक. डॉक्टर में से वेल सेम थिंग, क्रोसिन खा लो ठीक हो जाएगा. दे में साइन अ मोर सीरियस प्रॉब्लम. नहीं भैया आ जाओ हॉस्पिटल में, चेक कराना पड़ेगा, यू हैव टू स्कैन. स्कैनिंग करना पड़ेगा, so you have to go for, again, all paraphernalia. You can't just go for scanning. You have to documents, pathological, whatever, medical, clinical laboratory में जाना पड़ेगा for necessary all those machines. Then make a necessary assessment. If it is non-serious, then fine, medication may be a serious, हो सकता है brain tumor हो, then you have to go be specialized hospital. Then you need a specialist doctors, surgeons. That's what I see this, that a common man, what he has a problem in his daily life. Similarly, if you see from this perspective, a common man may face. हो सकता है आप दुकान में गए, you have purchased something, and दुकानदार ने दे दिया पैकेट में, खोल के देखा is something else. मैं भी अरे छोड़ो अब इतना कौन जाएगा, वो हो गया जो I wanted some brown bread, उसने दे दिया normal bread, ठीक है छोड़ो. But if you are insistent, next day जाएंगे बोलेंगे नहीं क्या बात है, I had asked for brown bread, you have given me the normal bread. There will be negotiation, नहीं sorry, okay fine. और he may say नहीं, I have given you brown bread, that is up to you, you should have checked. There is a conflict. Then क्या करते हैं आप? What do you do? You बातें करते हैं, you can resolve it, or if you get angry, you file a complaint against that consumer protection में. Suppose मान लीजिए, these are just example. What I am trying to say is that when a person faces a problem, a legal problem, for example, what does he do? Legal problem can, of various aspects. आप घर में हैं, your neighbor is encroaching your land, there's a problem. You are walking, you say that I am the most low obedient person. I never walk on the wrong side of the road. I never jumped a red right. ठीक है, अच्छी बात है. When there is a drunkard who is driving a car, वो आके आपको पीछे मार दिया. So what do you have? So what do you do immediately? Obviously, you will make a complaint. Why do you make the complaint? First thing is that you don't want to go to a police station. How many people here sitting here would ever like to go to a police station? Nobody would like to go unless you are compelled to do so. इसका मतलब नहीं है that I would not like to know how the police station functions. आप कहते हैं कि yes, police station जाना मुझे अच्छा नहीं लगता है, therefore I don't know how it functions, then you are making a mistake. But these are the usual problems a common man faces in this country. जब problem हो गया, how to do it? वकील किससे मिले? अब प्रदीप राय साहब तो सीनियर एडवोकेट है, मिलते नहीं हैं. How will you go? पैसे भी बहुत मांगेंगे. सीनियर एडवोकेट है, तो we look for a junior lawyer जिसका पैसे कम लेंगे, ढूंढेंगे. लेकिन क्या, what is the guarantee that you will have a good legal assistance? This is another problem a common man faces. I am just giving a typical example how a common man faces in order to get justice in this country. अब एक्सीडेंट हो गया MSCT, अब MSCT करेंगे, कंप्लेंट करेंगे, क्या करेंगे? क्रिमिनल केस फाइल करेंगे, FIR फाइल करेंगे, या हम जाएंगे MSCT में? This is another dilemma. कैसे जाएंगे? How many people know the legal system? Awareness. कहाँ जाएंगे? These are another issue. So from the very beginning of the onset of a problem, there is lack of understanding of the common man. आप लोग सब जानते हैं, you are all educated, you are all lawyers हैं, some of you are law students हैं, so you'll say हमको तो जानते, there is no problem. But how many are educated? How many know the legal functioning of the legal institutions in this country? That is why access to justice in digital age becomes very, very important. How digital technology has been able to bridge the gap of the knowledge of the functioning of the institutions, how to have access to it, how to approach the institutions. This is a big role which is played by the digital technology in India today. How does it happen? as I mentioned again, I'll be repeating again, same bar. When we go to the villages, there are so many complaints are coming. We don't know what to do. Then NALSA has evolved, National Legal Service Authority. They are engaged in massive awareness program. What is your right? How to approach it? For that, they have a large pool of paralegal volunteers who are trained to inform, make people aware how they should proceed in their daily to solve their problems. They are doing physically, they are going out. Now what is that? Now NALSA has a scheme. Like for example, 15100 is a toll number. If you ring up, call from that number, there will be somebody in the NALSA who is assigned a job, who will explain to you what is your problem, how do you sort it out. If you want a legal help, you want to get, you come, we'll arrange legal aid for you. So that's how digital systems start functioning at a grassroots level. That is very, very important because, of course, we tend to speak of AI. We are talking of AI. Please forget AI now. AI ka advent in Indian judicial system is a long way to go. We have yet to evolve the systematic platform and the methodology by which AI can be used effectively in Indian judicial. There, of course, the use of AI is coming. But let us not talk too much of AI in Indian judicial system for the present, for the simple reason that we have not developed that appropriate AI application to meet the challenges of the Indian judiciary. So as I start from this, a general public, first of all, he will have access to these legal aid centers and also to find out how his problem is to be resolved. That is the first use of digital technology in having access to justice. Having identified the lawyer, it does not mean that you have to rush to the court. The lawyer may not advise you, अच्छा आपका problem है, चलो भाई court case file करते हैं. That used to be the thing in the past. कोई client आता है, litigant आते हैं lawyer के पास, तो lawyer से चलो भाई तुम्हारा क्या है, अच्छा ये civil case है, चलो case file कर दे. तुम्हारा criminal case है, चलो criminal case file कर. No, the lawyers also now trained. No, we will see mediation. We will try to mediate. अब mediation और digital age में क्या फर्क है? Yes, mediation also can be online. अब देखिए, there are many cases where wife and husband is a quarrel. Because of the quarrel, a difference of opinion, they split, they separate. One stays in Kerala, one stays in Delhi. Then how do you negotiate? Then again, this digital medium provides, for which the mediation also has a scheme for this digital online mediation function. That is another use of digital technology in resolving disputes. So there is another instance. Now, the lawyer, okay, we have decided, the lawyer and the litigant decide, yes, there is no other way but to file a case. Earlier, everything had to be filed physically. Lawyer would type it out in a typewriter, handwriting, typewriter, handwriting karte, yeah, typewriting, manual typewriter. And it will be how many times the typewriter has to type. We know lawyers, us time when we are growing up, we did not have access to computer. So how many drafts we had to make? Every time we make changes, draft, redraft, that poor typewriter has to type it again. Of course, he's getting fees for it. That's another issue. But then how much time is wasted in getting the final form of draft? Now, the computer comes into play. That how again digital technology comes into our use, into access. Because now with this use of computer software, you are able to draft your petition in the most efficient manner. There are now software also being developed, how to make your prelims precise, correct. So again, here again we see the use of technology. Now, ठीक है, it has been typed in computer faster, use of technology. Then it has to be filed also. Then it has to, we have to go to the court, file it, pay the court fees. Again, there is another use of technology comes in. We have online filing now. The use of online. You can sit at home. You don't have to go to the court. You file it, e-court system, e-filing we have, what we call e-filing. And what about payment of court fees? Same thing. Again, you don't have to go to the court to pay your fees, court fees physically, online payment of court fees. How digital technology helps in this, the shortening the process, a lengthy legal process. So we have a whole range of now software developed for the benefit of the lawyers. How to do research, the whole source, I think digital research. Earlier when we were young lawyers, we had to do physically. Every book we had to read physically, take it down, see volume 1, volume 2. If you feel that, if you don't file it, then again we go for another volume. So much of time and effort is required. Now we have a whole ecosystem of software where with a click of, within few minutes, you can search for the answer queries, answer of the queries you are making for yourself. So how digital technology involved in the access to justice is enormous. Now, again, now let us see that we have gone to the level of lawyers. And again, court, if you see now, earlier, everything has to be now paper. There are many courts in Delhi High Court itself, if you go, there are 3-4 courts which are functioning as paperless court. For example, commercial court division. Commercial court division where you don't have any physical court papers in the courtrooms. All are digitized and made accessible to the judges. All these are sent to the judge's chamber in soft copy form. And there are software provided to the judge how to make notes, how to make points, and study and summarize everything, all research work, there are software made available. I will not go into detail because those who are there are already aware of these softwares. So this is how it works in the court system. Access to justice, therefore, it is, I would say, in today's digital age, we are just like any other discipline in life, where digital technology, where IT technology has come in a big way. In the judicial, in the justice delivery system also, it is going to play a big role. It is playing actually. If you see today, one of the biggest problem, why people want to avoid access to justice is because the time it takes, the expenses it incurs for continuing. And see, there till today we are dealing with cases which was filed in 1990s. Can you imagine? Cases are being, why it is taking so long? Because at that time we did not have the facility, access to all these digital mechanism which is in place right now. But as time goes, we are in this present day, the time involved in this legal process have been reduced to a great extent because of the use of technology. In fact, in India, if you see, being involved with the litigation was considered to be a curse. If somebody wants to curse you in certain society, the curse was that may you be inflicted with litigation. Because we have not been able to evolve a systematic, a faster dispensation of justice, mechanism of dispensation of justice, because of which we spend so much of time, and not only time, our resources. Now, digital technology is going to change that. One of the important things also I mentioned is about the mediation. Mediation, Government of India has taken a very important role in this. And if you know, the Mediation Act of 2023 was enacted, which gives a primacy for trying to resolve the dispute at the earliest, at the initial stage, pre-litigation stage. Then attempt is being made. But unfortunately, what is happening is that we do not have the pool of good mediators. The mediators have to be not necessarily lawyers, but lawyers will have advantage because you know the law. But at the same time, being a mediator is very different from a normal lawyer, litigation lawyer. Because in the kind of cases we have, the system is adversarial in nature. A plaintiff files a case, a defendant defends. They try to see the weak point of the other side. There is always an element of confrontation. And every side wants to win the case. There is aggressiveness, there is a confrontation. Therefore, when the resolution takes place, it takes place at the cost of another person. A case is won, somebody loses. And it leaves a feeling of unhappiness. But when mediation takes place, there is a win-win situation. You try to see both the sides happy by the solution. But again, in order to bring this solution by a mediation, where the role of the lawyers becomes very important, the lawyers have to change their aptitude, approach. You cannot have an adversarial aptitude that I must win this case. For you win, that confrontationist attitude has to give way and to accommodating. Now, why I mention also because now a lot of trainings are going on. Earlier, mediation training was given by the NALSA to a select few, those who have 10 years of practice. But now the things are changing. There are a lot of demands that all these 10 years limitation should be done away with. Now, how do you train this? There is a whole lot of, now in today, after the launching of the 90 days project of mediation, lot of trainings are taking place on online mode. The training of the lawyers, training of the judges are also being undertaken through virtual mode. This is how the digital era is making a difference in our justice delivery system. Again, as I mentioned again, when we say access to justice, it does not necessarily mean that you have to come to the court. After all, what is justice? Justice is what you feel, resolve of your grievance, redressal of your grievance. It may be through court of law, it may not be through court of law, and the whole attempt is to see that the differences are resolved at earliest without going through the court legal system. There again, the digital, there's so many. For example, if you have a let's say you are challan by the police, Delhi police mentioned also made also e-challan system. You don't have to go to come to the court. In fact, I can tell you earlier that the magistrates were burdened with this challan, thousands of challan cases. What for? Because you have jumped the red light or did not carry your license, or you did not wear your helmet. And for that, you have to spend so much of time in the court. Now with this e-challan system which has been launched, you don't have to go to the court. The moment you receive the information, you pay the necessary fine, whatever is there, and you resolve the issues. So these are how digital technology is coming in a long way in resolving many of the disputes in our legal system. And how we are organizing also, most of you will know that there is a portal called National Judicial Data Grid. Then we have a CIS system also. In National Judicial Data Grid, you will have a picture of how many cases are pending, how many cases are disposed of. That may be perhaps not maybe relevant to a general litigant. But in the CIS system, if you log in your case number, you will immediately come to know what is the stage of your case, what is the stage, and at what stage, whether it has been disposed. Because earlier, see again, I mean, this is very unfortunate. I have to again refer to our legal system. That litigant would come and ask lawyer, sir, मेरा कब है next date? अब वकील साहब कहेंगे, अब देखेंगे, अब कोर्ट मास्टर पूछेंगे कब होगा, तारीख कब होगा, बताएंगे. That is to know the date of the next date itself was a challenge. And that was also taken advantage of by unscrupulous persons. आप पैसे दे दो दे देंगे, आप जाइए आप कोर्ट में. बेंच क्लर्क जब तक पैसे नहीं देंगे, he will not tell you, because he will not open his big registrar book. All these are being done away with. You will by the click of your, you enter your number, case number, and the CIS system, you will know kya hua, what order has been passed also, what actually had happened. So what is the great thing about it? It has brought in transparency also. The big, how digital, the use of digital technology not only improves the efficiency, but also brings in transparency it does away with corruption to a great extent. These are very important benefits of use of technology in our legal system. Now you can see, now the amendment also have been made in our procedure codes also. You can file online FIR. As I mentioned, it is so, for a common man, from a villager, it is so inhibiting, so daunting to go to a police station to lodge a complaint. And there are a lot of complaints also that we went to the police station, but they never bothered to listen to us. Therefore, there was a delay in filing the FIR also. These are the problems which will be solved if you are able to file online FIR. There is a provision for that. So these are technological advancements which have been brought in today's world, where we are able to have a much better, seamless functioning of the legal system. Otherwise, आम जनता के लिए क्या लीगल सिस्टम आप जो कहते हैं, बट देयर इज अ नेगेटिव सेंस ऑफ नेगेटिव एलिमेंट इन्वॉल्व इन एनी परसेप्शन ऑफ द पीपल व्हेन इट कम्स टू लीगल सिस्टम. दैट यूजुअल पिक्चर आपने देखे हैं, जोली LLB सोचते हैं हमारा लीगल सिस्टम वैसे ही चलता है, बट थिंग्स हैव चेंज्ड. People are much more professional. We are meant to be professional because of the use of technology. You know, we see that in बहुत सारे social media में रखते हैं how what judges say, what the conversation between lawyers and the judges in the courtroom, observations made by the judges. Now I am telling you, because of this online, in fact, judges have stopped talking much in the courtroom, out of fear that it will be immediately reported and discussed. So it has made the judges talk less in the courtroom. Otherwise, आप देखते हैं, जाएंगे आप मफूसिल कोर्ट में जाइए, सुप्रीम कोर्ट, हाई कोर्ट तो छोड़ दीजिए, ठीक है, मफूसिल कोर्ट में जाइए, how the judges and lawyers they function, सारे they have become much well behaved. This is also one good thing about how the use of technology has brought in. So attitudinal changes are being brought in, accountability has been brought in, efficiency has been brought in, but unfortunately, there are many, many thousands and thousands of the people in this country are not still aware of these facilities, various mechanism available to the people to make the justice delivery system accessible to them. This is a big challenge for which we in the legal community, whether it's a lawyer, whether it's a judge, or whether it's a legal, anybody who's involved has a big responsibility to play and make people understand, people bring aware of the various developments which has taken place in the field of law with the use of technology. Of course, I'm always tempted to say a little bit of AI also before I wind up, because AI is something which will definitely has a kind of, because we know how AI is evolving. We can't stop it. हमारे कार चलते हैं, गूगल कार कहते हैं, टेस्ला कहते हैं, they can drive without drivers. So there is always a kind of a presumption that yes, one day we will have an AI judge sitting dispensing justice, but that is not possible, because justice in itself is not merely delivering some decision. In the process, it involves human emotions. Deciding case is not deciding some or answering some academic questions. When we decide cases, we are dealing with the live human problems. Each and every case is unique. We may say that, well, these are similar cases. No. Every case is unique because it involves the emotions, it involves the attitude, the character, which is unique in itself. Therefore, the problems that is thrown up is also unique in that sense. And we all know how AI works. AI works on the basis of algorithms. AI works on the basis of data which has been already fed. When many of you are using ChatGPT to get certain answer, but the risk you run is that ChatGPT's answer is based on the data which is already fed in the system, in the computer, in www, World Wide Web. And how many data are really genuine? We don't know. How many data are manipulated? We don't know. And this AI, this machine sitting there, he also does not know. He simply sees as a data and assumes to be all correct, on the basis of which he gives an answer. This is the answer. Therefore, the use of AI, unless it is based on a system where the data are filtered, properly examined, authenticated, verified, any decision based on this data will be a dangerous proposition. Till we are able to achieve that, we are able to verify the correctness of the data. Therefore, we will not be able to find out a legal AI judge. AI judge can be used, it has been used in certain jurisprudence, some areas. For example, this traffic challans cases. There AI can be used because very simple, whether you have broken that your CCTV camera, the data of the CCTV camera will be fed into the system, and you will see whether your car or vehicle have jumped the red light. The moment you jump the red light, your fine is this one. So when these kind of issues, problems, which does not involve human emotions, the data, certainly AI can be used. But in any other case where human emotions play, the bona fide, the intention, mala fide, corrupt, your good sense, your bad sense, how does AI justify, how does AI adjust it before it gives its verdict? Therefore, as far as actual delivery of justice is concerned, the role of AI is something which is not only dangerous, but also very, very risky. Therefore, to that extent, except for using AI to help our system function more efficiently, systematically organize, case management, doing research works, yes, certainly AI will play a very important role, which will save a lot of our time, because we spend a lot of time in organizing ourselves, systemating and classification. These are areas where AI can certainly play a great role, but it cannot take over the role of actual adjudication. Thank you very much. There are so many areas what would say, but time also constant, And thank you very much for your question here. Thank you very much.